Welcome to Block 3, Multiplying and Dividing Fractions, Lesson 2. In today's lesson, you would learn to multiply a fraction by an integer. In your previous lesson, you learned to represent multiplication as diagrams. Before we start, I would like you to pause the video and answer these retrieval practice questions in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered the retrieval practice questions, here are the answers. Let's discuss them. Here you were asked to write these as a mixed number. So by now, you should know how to write fractions as mixed number. If you do not remember this, please refer to our Year 7 lesson. So just very quickly, how this is done is 19 divided by 5. You can get 3 whole 5s from 19, but you will have a remainder of 4. So you write that as 4/5. And then here you were asked to write this as an improper fraction. Very quickly, how that is done is you have 3 times 2, which is 6, plus 1, which is 7. So you write that as 7/3. And here you're asked a bag of sweets weighs 20 grams. How much do 12 bags of sweets weigh? You simply do a multiplication. Let's do some new learning for this lesson. By now, we know 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 6a is 24a. 4 times 6pq is 24pq. 4 times 6x is 24x. So the numbers stay the same, but whatever variable we have next to the number also stays the same with the actual answer that we would get if we just multiply the numbers. What about 4 times 6 sevenths? If we follow the same pattern, it's going to be 24 sevenths. Now, what this means is 4 times 6 sevenths will be 24/7. So thinking about this, because we say it's 24/7, we could have written this as 24 times 1/7. That's what it means. This is 24 sevenths. So I want you to pay attention to that because it will become really useful as we move along. Here we're asked to calculate 7/1/8. Well, using the approach we've already learned, this will be, if we represent it on the number line, is having 1/8, but we have 7 lots of that. So this is 7/8 or 7/8. What about this one? It means we're going to have a diagram that is divided into 8 equal parts, but we don't need 3/8 of that. But if we want to actually represent this on a number line, it means we need to extend our number line. So we'll have 7/3/8. Now, have you noticed that this is the same thing as 21/8? Okay, 21/8. So, if we look at this, this will be 7 times 3/8, which if we write as a mixed number is going to be 2 5/8. Why? 21 divided by 8 is 2 lots. You can get 2 lots of 8 from 21. Your remainder will be a 5, so that will be 5/8. Notice how by extending the number line, this corresponds to this. You can see that we went past 2 as a whole number, and we have 5 equal parts after the 2. So this is the same as that one. Okay, I want you to pause and have a think. What will the results be for this one? What do you notice? Well, notice that the denominators stay the same, but we're simply multiplying the numerators. Now, remember what I said you should take note of. The pattern you should spot when we did our previous lesson. And this is the pattern. So let's use the pattern. We know that 5 2/3 means 5 lots of 2/3. If you were to do repeated addition, remember multiplication is repeated addition, it means you have 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus another 2/3. Of course, you know the denominators will remain the same, so that will be 10/3 or 10 over 3, which is the same thing as just multiplying the numerators. Now, if you represent it on a number line, you would see exactly that if you represent it, you will have this because you have to extend the number line to fit them. The 5 2/3. So 2/3 mean you split the number line into 3 parts and you're taking 2/3 every time. Now, if you think about it, have you noticed that we go beyond 3? Because by extending the number line, we get to the 3 whole number. And we have a third. And that is the same thing we would have if we were to convert this to a mixed number. 10 divided by 3 is 3. Our remainder will be 1, and that is 1/3, which is this part here. What about 40 times 7 over 600? Well, we'll do the same thing. We know the pattern is the same. So the denominator will stay as 600, but the numerator, we can multiply them. So 40 times 7 will be 280. But let's simplify it and see what we'll get. We see that we can divide by 10. The numbers end in 0. We'll get 28 over 60. And we can divide further by 4, the highest common factor. And that will give us 7 over 15 as our fraction. If you like what you're learning, like the video, share the video with those you think can benefit. Subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell so that when new videos are released, you will be notified. By doing so, you help us grow our mission to raise maths literacy among children in the world. It's now time for you to practice what you've learned. Pause the video and answer questions 1 and 2 in 3 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered questions 1 and 2, here are the answers. Let's discuss them. So these, you were simply doing the multiplication similar to what we did at the start of our lesson. So 5 3/7 is the same thing as 15/7. So you multiply the numerator, the denominator stay the same. And these are obvious. Here you are asked to match the calculations to the correct answers, and here are the answers. Pause the video and answer question 3 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered question 3, here are the answers. Let's discuss them. So for question 3A, you were asked to draw diagrams to represent the calculations. And these diagrams should be obvious. You should know how to draw them by now. So you need quarters. So you have where you have the number line where they're split into quarters. You need 3 quarters boxed in, and then you need 3 lots of that. And then when you change it to a mixed number, you see exactly that it fits the diagram. It goes beyond 2 and you have a quarter. And then this is the other one for you to check what you've done. So I'm sure you're doing very well at this stage. Pause video and answer questions 4 and 5 in 3 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered the questions, here are the answers. Let's discuss them. So here you are asked to convert the improper fractions to mixed numbers. So to convert to mixed numbers, 5 divided by 2, you can have 2 whole of 2 from 5. Your remainder is 1, so that would be 2 1/2. And these are the answers for the others. If you do not know how to do these conversions, I would ask that you refer to your Year 7 lessons. So go back and watch the Year 7 lessons on fractions. Here, 4 3/5 is equal to 12 over 20, she says, because 4 times 3 is 12 and 4 times 5 is 20. Well, Eva has done the mistake that most students do. The denominator stays the same. We simply multiply the numerators. So this should be 12 over 5. Pause video and answer question 6 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused video and you've answered question 6, here are the answers. Let's discuss them. So 6, here are the answers. So here, 7.5 will be 7 over 2. If you write that as a mixed number, here is what your answer will be. And here are the answers. So by now, you should know how to write numbers as mixed numbers and how to do these calculations. Let's look at another example for the second part of the lesson. A bag of sugar weighs a quarter kilogram. We're being asked how much do 10 bags of sugar weigh? Well, 10 bags of sugar means we have to have 10 lots of a quarter because each bag weighs a quarter kilogram. So we've been asked to give our answer as a mixed number in its simplest form. So we simply do 10 times a quarter, which is 10 over 4. This time we do not need to represent it as a diagram because we know how it works. So 10 divided by 4 will be 2. Our remainder is 2. We'll write that as a quarter. But then remember that 2 and a quarter is the same thing as a half. So that is 2, 1 over 2. But remember, you were asked in kilograms. So you need to express your answer as 2.5 kilograms. Don't forget the unit. It's now time for you to practice what you've learned. Pause the video and answer question 7 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered question 7, here are the answers. Let's discuss them. So for question 7, A and B, you were asked, give your answers as mixed numbers in their simplest form. So a piece of wood is 4/5 meter long. How long are 6 of these pieces of wood? Of course, remember, we need to express as 6 lots of 4/5, which will be 24 over 5. We know that 5, we have 4 lots of 5 in 24. So, which is 4, and our remainder will be 4/5 because 4 times 5 is 20. Here we ask, at a school, lunchtime is 3/4 hour. What is the total time taken for lunch over a full school week? So a full school week is 7. A full school week is 5. So we're going to do 5 lots of 3/4. And we know by now when we multiply a fraction with an integer, we simply multiply the numerator. We know 15 divided by 4 is 3. Why? Because 4 times 3 is 12. So we write 3. Our remainder is 3. So it's 3/3 of the hour. And for C, you were asked, Rosie buys 10 bags of dry fruits. Each bag contains 2/5 kilogram. What is the total weight of all 10 bags? Well, you can do 10 times 2/5. So you multiply the numerator, which is 20. 20 divided by 5 is 4. So it's 4 kilograms. So remember, do not ignore the units. You must take account of the units. Pause the video and answer question 8 in 2 minutes. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered question 8, here are the answers. Let's discuss them. So question 8, you were asked to find the missing numbers in these calculations. So we know the numerator is 6, so that has to be 3. Because we know that we simply multiply the integer with the numerator. The denominator stays the same. So another way to find a number, just in case it's a large number, is by doing 6 divided by 2. Here we have the denominator being 8. And we have 15 here, so we know that has to be 5. So we could simply do 15 divided by 3 to find that number. Here we have 18 over 11. We know the denominator must stay the same. So to find what that number would be in the numerator, we simply do 18 divided by 6, which will be 3. And of course, you can write that as a mixed number, which you already know how to do. Here we know this is eighth, 1/8. First, we need to convert it to an improper fraction. So we do 8 times 3, which is 24, plus 1, which will be 25 over 8. Now we know the denominators have to stay the same. So we're simply thinking about what we'll multiply by 5 to get 25, and that has to be 5. So the fraction here should be 5/8. Here we'll do the same. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. But we have 9.5. We have 9 over 2. But here we have 4. So we think that we have simply scaled this by 2, which means this should be scaled up by 2 as well, which will be 18. Now, if that is 18, we know we think about the number that should be here, that should be 3, because the denominator has to stay the same, which is 4. Pause the video and answer question 9 in 1 minute. Assuming you've paused the video and you've answered question 9, here are the answers. Let's discuss them. So for question 9, you were asked, here, let's call him Amir. He says, I know these all have the same answer without having to work them out. Well, how does Amir know these calculations are equivalent? Well, he knows because we simply multiply the numerators, and we have, so here, that would be 32 over 5, 32 over 5, and then here, 8 over 10, this 0.8 means 8 over 10, and you can see it here. Okay, so 0.8 means 8 over 10. So remember, you're multiplying this by integers. So this will be 8 times 8, which is 64 over 10. Okay, and if you look at the calculations, they all are equivalent. Okay, so these are the calculations written when they are decomposed in their form. So this one is 8 times, so this one is 8 times 4/5, which is the same thing as 8 times 2 times 2 over 5, which is the same thing as 8 times 2 times 2 over 5, which is the same thing as 16 times 2 over 5, or which can also be written like this. So it's about taking the calculations and rewriting them to show that they are actually equivalent. So look at this one. 8 4/5 is the same thing as 2 times 4, because 8 is 2 times 4, times 8 over 10. Why? You have simply doubled this. Okay, you've doubled 4/5 to be 8 over 10, which is the same thing as 2 times 4, and you know 8 over 10 is 0.8 times 4. And you can see that they are all equivalent. So brilliant to Amir, he spotted that. And that brings us to the end of our lesson. So in this lesson, you have learned to multiply fractions by integers, and you have learned in the very last question how to do different representations of the same calculation. Well done for sticking around and for taking your learning seriously. Until next time, take care of yourself and bye-bye.